This post. Injury update, Caitlin Clark back. Will not return. The Fever got crushed with this clip all throughout this post in a rebuttal. We'll get to that clip in just a second. All right, the Mercury won the game. Caitlin Clark was absolutely killing it when she had to leave the game. 19 points, 8 assists. I'm going to be honest.
What unfolded during this highly anticipated Game 2 showdown against the Mercury didn't resemble ordinary basketball at all. Instead, it delivered one of the most controversial moments fans have witnessed all season, leaving thousands of spectators and the entire basketball world completely stunned. Clips of the incident are now spreading across every major social media platform, with viewers replaying the sequence over and over because they can hardly believe what happened. Watch this moment carefully. Alyssa Thomas charges directly toward Indiana Fever superstar Caitlin Clark, making heavy contact around her throat and lower body before sending her crashing hard onto the hardwood. Clark remained on the floor for several moments, struggling to catch her breath while grabbing her back in obvious pain. For many watching, this no longer looked like a professional basketball contest. It looked like an extremely physical collision that immediately raised serious questions about player safety. Even more shocking was the reaction from the officials standing only a few feet away, who allowed play to continue without taking meaningful action. If you still believe the league has handled situations involving its biggest star fairly, you need to see exactly how this entire sequence unfolded, because what happened next has completely changed the conversation surrounding this season. To understand why emotions are running so high across the league, you have to go back to the opening tip, where the tone of the game was established almost immediately. This wasn't a single isolated play that appeared out of nowhere. From the very first possession, the defensive approach against the Indiana Fever was obvious: play with relentless physicality and make every touch as difficult as possible. Nearly every time Caitlin Clark tried to fight through a screen or attack the paint, she was met with hard bumps, heavy contact, and several moments that many believed pushed the limits of what officials normally allow. But everything reached another level during a crucial second-half possession. Alyssa Thomas positioned herself directly in Clark's path, and as Caitlin attempted to make her move, the focus appeared to shift away from the basketball itself. Thomas lifted her forearm toward Clark's upper body, while their lower bodies collided at the same time, knocking Clark completely off balance. The impact was so forceful that the crowd inside the arena reacted instantly with an audible gasp as Caitlin slammed onto her lower back, her face immediately showing clear signs of pain while the entire arena watched in complete disbelief.
Quarter, all of a sudden, we ran like 5-6 straight plays through Kelsey Mitchell. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Look at this thuggery, though. Look at this thuggery by Alyssa Thomas. Look at this. Look at this. You're trying to punch her in the throat, guy. What are you doing? Look at this. Arrest this hoodlum. Lock this thug up. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Like, let's be real here. That was unnecessary. This is the stuff we're talking about. That was not necessary at all. At all. Come on, man. Look, the ball is all the way over there. Look at where the basketball is, guys. Look at where the basketball is. Look at her. Look at her face. Look at her. It's ridiculous. Then look, the ball is all the way behind you. You try to step on her, all types of stuff. Ridiculous, man. Alyssa Thomas is dirty. Look at the dirty plays. Look at this angle where she puts her knee directly on her groin. She was out to injure Caitlin Clark. Look at this.
For several long, terrifying seconds, the entire arena fell completely silent as medical personnel hurried onto the court to check on Caitlin Clark. Every camera inside the building captured the aftermath from multiple angles, and the look on Clark's face revealed just how painful the moment appeared to be. But as shocking as the collision itself was, the story quickly took another unexpected turn right there in that moment. While fans inside the arena were still processing what they had witnessed, a completely different battle was already erupting across social media. Within minutes, video clips flooded every corner of the internet, not only basketball pages and sports accounts, but virtually every platform where fans gathered to discuss the game. What made the reactions so remarkable wasn't simply that people were talking, it was the fact that everyone seemed to have a completely different interpretation of the same play. Some believed it was nothing more than the kind of physical contact that naturally happens during a competitive basketball game, while others argued it highlighted a much larger pattern that Caitlin Clark has faced throughout the season. That's exactly why the debate exploded so quickly. This was no longer about a single possession, a single whistle, or even one night's result. For countless fans, it felt like another chapter in an ongoing conversation that has been building for months, a discussion centered on physical play, officiating consistency, and whether the league's biggest stars are truly being officiated by the same standard as everyone else. Emotions escalated almost instantly as supporters shared replay after replay. Critics challenged those opinions, analysts offered their own breakdowns, and suddenly everyone had a different version of what really happened. The most unbelievable part was that the conversation refused to fade away. Hours after the final buzzer, fans were still arguing over every angle of the play. The following morning, the debate only became louder, and by the next day it had grown into one of the biggest storylines surrounding the league. That naturally led to another important question. What does all of this mean for the Indiana Fever? While social media remained consumed by controversy, the Fever still had games to win, standings to climb, and an entire season to fight through. Every possession still carried enormous importance, making the situation even more complicated because the team couldn't afford to dwell on the past. They had no choice but to move forward immediately. And that brings the focus right back to Caitlin Clark, because throughout every stage of her basketball journey, one thing has remained constant: attention follows her everywhere. Every game draws massive interest, every big play becomes a headline, every reaction sparks discussion, and every controversial moment quickly turns into a national conversation that refuses to disappear.
Watch this. Look at that. Look at her. Put her fist and her forearm into Caitlin Clark's neck on this play right there, and then uses her fist to get up. Did she try to kick Caitlin Clark? Let me look at or step on her. Caitlin Clark looked like she was kind of doing this, like Alyssa Thomas tried to step on her. Clay Travis come out and said WNBA players hate Caitlin Clark and a cheap shot because she's white and she's straight. How long have we been saying that? 3 years now. The WNBA's got a real problem here. They've got a real problem with the players in this league. And here is my issue. Stephanie White should have lost her ever-loving shit on that floor after that dirty shot from Thomas. Of course she didn't. Of course she didn't. Because she's tight with Alyssa Thomas and DeWanna Bonner.
All types of stuff. Ridiculous, man. Alyssa Thomas is dirty. Look at the dirty plays. Look at this angle where she puts her knee directly on her groin. She was out to injure Caitlin Clark. Look at this.
Streaking to the basket.
Look at her. The ball is all the way over there. Why is your knee in her groin? What are you doing? What are you doing, Alyssa Thomas? The ball isn't even over there. Look at where the ball is, guys. Look at where the ball is. Why are you going through putting your knee on her groin? The ball is clearly behind you. Caitlin Clark don't got the ball. What are you doing? This is targeting. This is an attack. The WNBA needs to step in and do something about Alyssa Thomas and her goon squad brutally, viciously attacking Caitlin Clark. Brutally, viciously attacking Caitlin Clark. What are y'all gonna do about it? What are y'all gonna do about it? This is the biggest star to ever come in this league, and you're letting this thuggery go on. You're letting people viciously target her. It's ridiculous, man. Alyssa Thomas is a joke. Alyssa Thomas is disgusting. This is nasty. This is nasty. This deserves a suspension. Damn a fine. Damn a technical. This should have been a flagrant 2. She should have been ejected for this. She should have been ejected. Nasty. Look at all this dirty stuff they're doing. Landing zone fouls. Landing zone fouls. This is the play where Caitlin Clark appears to have hurt her back. I mean, bro, it's just nasty ass plays by the Phoenix Mercury, man. This is nasty work by the Phoenix Mercury. They went out there and targeted Caitlin Clark. They injured her. That's just what it is, bro. That's just what it is, man. This team is dirty as hell. And now you would have thought the WNBA.
That is the reality that comes with being the biggest name in women's basketball today. Whether people cheer for Caitlin Clark or constantly criticize her, they continue watching every move she makes. And whenever millions of eyes are locked on one player, every moment naturally grows into a much bigger conversation. That's exactly what unfolded after this game. The spotlight quickly became bigger than the action on the court. The discussion became more important than the final score, and the controversy grew far beyond a single sequence. At the same time, Indiana Fever fans were left asking some difficult questions. Will the league address what happened? Will all of this public attention actually lead to meaningful changes? Will future games be officiated differently, or will everything simply continue as it has before? Right now, nobody has those answers, but everyone is eager to see what happens next because the attention surrounding the Fever has reached another level. With each passing game, the pressure continues to build. Every matchup feels more significant, every storyline attracts more headlines, and every reaction becomes a major talking point, especially whenever Caitlin Clark is involved. That's why so many fans have already shifted their focus toward the next game, not because they are expecting another controversial moment, but because they know the spotlight will once again be impossible to ignore. Every major story involving the Indiana Fever now captures nationwide attention, and that's what makes this entire situation so compelling. No matter which side of the debate people support, one fact remains impossible to deny. This conversation isn't fading away anytime soon. If anything, it continues growing louder with every passing day. Each replay sparks a new opinion, every opinion fuels another debate, and every debate gives fans another reason to keep following the story. That brings us to the biggest question of all: what happens next? Will this eventually fade into history as just another controversial basketball moment, or will it become one of the defining storylines of the entire season? At this point, nobody can say for certain. What is clear, however, is that the basketball world is paying close attention. Fans are watching, the media is watching, and the Indiana Fever remain at the center of one of the most discussed stories in sports today. Now, I'd like to hear your perspective. After watching the footage, what was your first reaction? Do you think social media exaggerated the situation, or do fans have a legitimate reason to be frustrated? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy WNBA news, in-depth analysis, heated debates, and the biggest stories surrounding Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications because this story feels like it's only just beginning.